Okay, what's going on, guys? Judging by the title, judging by the title of this live stream, I think you can take a hint of what this live stream is going to be based off of. If not, you should probably check the title and description because this is going to be a different type of one. Um, it's going to be a creepypasta one. I'm going to specify this for y'all so I don't get backlash in the comments. I'm gonna specify this for y'all that this is a creepypasta live stream. I repeat, creepypasta live stream. We will be talking about creepypastas inside. We will be talking about creepypastas in today, or I guess I should say tonight's live stream. So, originally I was gonna do this in Discord, but there's really nobody I can do the Discord with, or the creepypasta with, I should say, right now. I was gonna do it with Gold Majority, that y'all seen in the earlier stream. I was gonna do it with him. But I don't think he has Discord. And Jupiter, my buddy Jupiter from school, I don't think he would be interested in doing a stream like this. He's not really the creepypasta type of person, as y'all can see or tell from his channel, I should say. So it's just gonna be me, myself, and y'all, of course. So without further interruptions, we will be getting into the stream and talking about some of the best creepypastas, and I will be rating some of my favorite ones, includingly, doing some, honorable mentions. Hopefully in a minute, a buddy of mine will join so we can, maybe if we're lucky, he will join and maybe he'll want to do the creepypasta stream with us. But until then, we are just gonna do it with me, myself, and I. The first stream being, not my bad, the first, I guess I should say I guess I should specify to be the first creepypasta on this list being, one called, hang on, what is it called? Oh yeah, the Black-Eyed Children. I thought I said the Black-Eyed Pea Children, but apparently, it's called just the Black-Eyed Children. The Black-Eyed Children was, apparently from what I'm reading off the Creepypasta's web as I began to study before doing this stream, was that apparently, the Black-Eyed Children were these two boys that would come up to random people, and I don't know much about this one, not really too much, I just know a tiny bit about it. I'm gonna have to study more on it. But apparently it's about these two boys that had completely black eyes, as if they were like peas or something. And, apparently they would, apparently for anybody newly joining, we are doing a creepy, we're doing a Creepypasta type of live stream. So for anybody not interested in that, or just don't like scary things or creepypastas, I recommend if you don't want to hear crap or narrations about that type of stuff, I recommend y'all just leave. But we're talking about basically just some creepypastas that I was looking into today. Actually, Willie, there's not that many stories of I still gotta look into this one, but apparently this one is not that interesting to me. Me and my friends, I really just wanted to do this stream just to talk about some interesting creepypastas and the nostalgia me and my friends were going back through looking at these, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, the Black-Eyed Children wasn't that much of a nostalgia for us because we didn't really like that type of creepypasta. I am gonna get to some of the honorable mentions that I really wanted to mention in this stream, starting off with Wed Mist. I cannot, unfortunately, say the actual name of this because YouTube will get mad at me. But all I can tell you is the original title for it is Squidwards, and then say the beginning words and then put it with side. Yeah. But that probably might begin with just probably getting me in trouble just for saying, basically just giving y'all and hinting at what the words are supposed to be. The scariest one was Wed Mist. That and Bootleg SpongeBob. We'll get the bootleg in a minute. Um, bootleg is, you know what? I'll bring you my explanations on bootleg in a minute. Wed Mist, for those of y'all that live under a rock, like myself, and don't really know much about Wed Mist, I'm gonna give y'all the full narration of it and then explain to y'all what it's actually supposed to be meant in, or basically give y'all the deeper meaning of Wed Mist and everything about it. Wed Mist is about a Nickelodeon intern who, basically, again, a Nickelodeon intern who would be watching the episode, or was supposed to be watching the episode Fear of a Krabby Patty, which for those of y'all that don't know what that episode is literally just the episode where SpongeBob begins to hallucinate killer Krabby Patties, and because he's been working too much. Well, the original title was a black walkie-like background, or a black sandy background, I should say, with the words Squidward's side. Obviously, y'all know that's not what it actually said. It said something else, but again, can't tell you what the actual title was. They thought it was a joke because, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, before it could be, most things like that could be released. Yeah, I'd probably put the most stupidest fucking titles in my videos before releasing them to the public. I've did a couple times, I promise you I have. Well, just like for the one Walkabout Bivale, where SpongeBob and Patrick basically housed a baby clam, the title for that one before it was released to the public was How Sex Doesn't Work. I know, very stupid, right? Well, this one, they just thought it was a joke, and because it had not been released to the public yet, and the title and thumbnail still had to be due, so, basically, they continued to watch. It opened with Scooter playing his clarinet. Then SpongeBob and Patrick were being stupid out in his front lawn. So he told them to be quiet and that he had a concert to practice for. Well, with that being, they began to cry. So he peeked back into his own window and got back to playing until he was interrupted. He answered the door. only to see the Scottish fish from the Putty Patties episode tell him that the mist was coming. And, because he said that, Squidward didn't know what the hell he was talking about, so Squidward just slammed the door in his face. Well, that was one of Squidward's biggest mistakes. Squidward probably shouldn't slam the door in his face, because that info was going to mean something to him later, probably. Well, later that day, or night I should say, he was playing his concert, and as he continued to practice the clarinet, he began to play his clarinet as the crowd booed him. And as the crowd booed him, my bad, for pausing a lot. I'm focusing on the stream and also trying to focus on the gameplay. As the crowd booed him, he basically just sat there as the crowd left. What's interesting about this as well is SpongeBob and Patrick were both in the crowd as well, and the Scottish fish, and every one of them, including the Scottish fish and SpongeBob and Patrick, all had red, hyper-realistic eyes. As if that couldn't be any more scary. Later, at home, Squidward was sitting on his bed, just motionless, with the saddest face ever. And, he began to cry. Here's what I have to say before I continue. I think the red mist is to symbolize depression. That he was gonna be depressed, and, that Scottish fish probably wasn't even there. The Scottish fish was probably not even there. It was probably a hallucination trying to warn him the mist was coming. He needs to be ready. But knowing Squidward, he's not gonna listen. Also not to mention, this had to have been because this wasn't the only thing. As they continued to watch as Squidward was booed on, I'm kind of getting off track of what the original wall of text narration was, but I just wanted to give y'all a basic thing was, as Squidward sits there, we basically, at some point, I'm not sure if it was earlier when he was playing his clarinet, but somewhere we see 4 dead children. Actually, I think it was right as the mist was coming in and he started crying. As we saw the children, apparently Squidward, I don't know how the hell, the reason this doesn't scare me as much as Bootleg does is because it makes me question physics. I know that sounds stupid, but let me explain. Squidward grabs a shotgun, having 1 round in the chamber, shoots himself. As his head explodes from the impact, his body is thrown on the back of his bed due to impact. Let me explain all something, okay? How does a shotgun even work underwater? I'm sorry, but that popped in my head when he grabbed the shotgun and shot himself. I know to most people, that should scare you and should make you sick. Dude, if you're like me and grew up on horror movies, it's not gonna affect you as much. Bootleg did, though. Let me explain what bootleg is. Bootleg SpongeBob is a horror film, is a short horror thing where these couple teenagers found a corrupted tape of Dumped inside a mental institution trash can. And, shit, my bad. Well, he ended up, shoot your ass. He ended up, they found it in the trash can, watched it, but there was a split-second frame of, SpongeBob with bloodshot eyes and no mouth. So, yeah, that was very interesting, you know? I bet that was very interesting, I'm sure. But of course, I'm sure that was interesting to have to rewind and look at for the time being. Well, one or two of the teens took their life. Actually, no, I think two of them went missing. One took his life. And then one didn't want to talk. One refused to talk about the tape to anybody, including investigators. And then the other one finally agreed to give paranormal investigators the tape. I'm gonna be honest, if that would have been me, I would have took a hammer and broke that damn tape. I'm sorry, but I would have. Dude, if something was corrupted in that tape, for it to be warped like that, dude, like, I'm sorry, but come on, dude. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that it was corrupted, and probably, I'm gonna be honest, if y'all seen my YouTube shorts and TikToks, y'all would know that plenty of times I've used the image of bootleg SpongeBob in jump scare memes, like from the Scary Maze game and shit, dude. Y'all would know I did that plenty of times. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, 9 times out of 10, I find it kind of funny, because that's how somebody probably would have reacted to getting that type of jump scare. Let me go back to the original narration for Red Mist. This was another part I forgot to mention. One of the interns ended up puking. Another ran out. The last two people, one of the interns puked. One of the interns puked after seeing Squidward shoot himself. Actually, it was also after, they also puked after seeing a few dead children. One of them ran out of the room, and then the remaining two called Steven Hillenberg up to the front office of Nickelodeon to show him they were not goofing off or messing around, they were serious. Somebody thought it was a fun idea or something. And, apparently, during this moment when Mr. Hillenberg came up to Nickelodeon, he saw every part of the beginning that I had just now told you about this. Mr. Hillenberg demanded to know, and when I say this, I mean it. He said he demands to know who the hell was responsible for this outrage. They did not know, obviously, so they continued to watch the rest of it. Mr. Hillenberg. And because they continued watching Mr. Hillenberg, they also called authorities because of it. Well, after calling authorities, they couldn't identify the children, so that was a downer. Also, Mr. Hillenberg never found out who the hell was responsible for the tape in question, and Vibing Leaf's version of his own take on the corrupted Dumped, a masterpiece. Let me explain why. I'm gonna go into depth and detail explaining to y'all that Vibing Leaf wasn't playing around with this one. I mean, he never plays around with his. His Wed Mist one was awesome. If y'all heard from my earlier stream where I played Pillar Chase, y'all would know that we also talked about some of Vibing Leaf's other works, and how some of these creepypastas I had mentioned need to go into this game, which, if the creator watches this, if you can, dude, please add these characters that we're talking about. I would love to see Wed Miss Squidward or Bootleg SpongeBob chase me in the most scariest way possible. And, there's one that's, I can't tell if recently made, like, 2 years ago maybe, but, one that was recently made, I think, was called Mr. Krabs Insanity. I'm not gonna narrate on that one too much, because that one just bores me. All I'm gonna tell y'all is it's basically about Mr. Krabs literally going insane, murdering all of his friends, including his daughter, and then shooting himself. I'm not gonna go into much detail, other than to tell y'all, at this point, dude, there's not that much about it. I don't think there is, at least. I'm trying to think of more ones to tell y'all, but there's really not that much more, boys, and, if there's not that much more, I don't know. One more creepypasta before we log off of the stream is Sonic.exe. So, a friend had got a Sonic.exe, he didn't know that it was Sonic.exe, but he knew there was a Sonic tape to go into his computer with a note that said, it was something, I don't know what it specifically said, but the person that wrote it was named Kyle. And, Kyle was talking all this crazy crap, and I think it was related to him going missing after playing Sonic.exe. I mean, I don't really know much other than if I got a random thing from my friend or something, dude, as a distress thing, I probably would have dipped. I would not have popped that in my thingy. That's like a Wookiee move when it comes to shit like this, dude. You don't do that. And as he continued to play, Tails, Knuckles, and Eggman began to be slaughtered by Sonic's grasp. And every time, the characters you played as would look into the camera and just cry before being killed. Then Sonic would jump scare you with the phrase at the top of him, I am God. With the phrase, I am God, I did not mean to mute myself. My bad, boys. My bad, boys. I did not mean to mute. But, popped it in. Every one of them died, and then Sonic jump scares us. Sonic jump scares us with the term, I am God. Then we get a 8-bit thing at the end where every one of the funds are killed, mutilated in horrible ways. This one, in my opinion, it's stupid. In my opinion, it's stupid, okay? As y'all can see, y'all probably wondering what the hell I'm doing. I joined my buddy Jupiter, as y'all can tell. So, since there's not that much more to tell y'all about, I told y'all about a bunch of creepypastas. If y'all want to see more stuff like this coming around next Halloween, or maybe just for the boredom, I guess, let me know. Then end with my stream here, boys. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.